Afternoon, tubers. It's Monday, June 8th, and that's the time. That's the temp in the garage, and yeah, got the front bumper up. See here, here, here. This is good. This whole thing along here is all. Then look at the smuts that happen here. So, I was looking for a dechrome front bumper and I couldn't find one. So, looks like we're stuck with this one. I started on it already because I already did this backside on banging it down, and now we got this to do. And yeah. So that's what we're doing. I'm still loading up software on the new computer. Probably will be doing that for a couple of days. So when I get bored of that, or I got time on that, I'll come out and we'll get the hammer and dolly set out again and start working on this and getting it back down. So, and then we'll grind it down, weld the bolts in, prime, paint it, and get it on the car. So that's where I'm at, and when I get more, I'll bring you guys back later. Hey tubers, what I've been doing is I've been coming out here as software is loading up on the new computer, and so I don't know, let's see if we can get this in. There was a dent right in here, and so I heated it up. I got two more right here. So what we've been doing is heating it up, and then the little body hammer doesn't, you have to get the big hammer out to do it. So now we'll move it down to these two and get this done. These are going to be fun. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Okay, I got it pretty well straight compared to that side. So yeah, now the two little humps in the front there, we'll get those. And that's the point, that hump there is, that's the point of the bumper. So yeah. So yeah, now those two. I don't think they belong there. God, it's been so long since I've done anything on a 68 Camaro front bumper. No, I don't think they belong there. I really don't. I think this is the flat. Because this is the hole to jack it up on. Those two. And I forgot what these were for. But they're all going to get filled. So this thing's going to get to ground. God, that's a lot of... Is that a mess or what? So looks like we'll set that in there and heat that up and see what happens. When I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright, before I got too crazy in here, I went online and looked, and these are part of the bumper. These two dents, hold on. Yeah, that is part of the bumper. So there's this. And it looks like that's just, I don't know. If we spend all the time and everything on this bumper, I wonder. Still got some more bending to do on it, as you can see if you look back. And there, so yeah, this looks like it starts low here and just rolls uphill. So yeah, so maybe we'll put a wrench on and do some pulling, but at least all the dents are out of it there. So let's see, so let's look. I'm looking to see if there are any more dents or anything, and it seems to be pretty good. Yeah, rotate that down. That's part of the peak. We got them all out of here. It was right in here. This was all dinged up. That looks pretty good in there. Hold on. There was one right in there. Yeah. So let's rotate this back down. Sorry about the camera, guys. But yeah, I think if we get a wrench in there and start prying, get a big, yeah, and put it in here and start pulling, maybe we'll be able, but these stay. So alrighty, well, let me get going on this, and I'll bring you back later. Alright, I bent this back up, and now it looks pretty good, but right in here this bumper's tweaked. Look at it. And if you look at that end, it's roughly up the same amount of that end. Could be this bracket, but yet here it's sitting on top of the bench, and here it's up a little bit. And granted, the bench isn't the most levelest thing in the world, but it's 5/4 sawn ash, and I would think that it's definitely there. Hang on for a minute, guys. Get to look at the tape measure. I'd say about 4 inches to the center of the radius right there. Yeah, it's about the same there. That's down to be bolted. This is rotated up. Look at, see, that's up. Huh. I guess we could do is take these brackets off and see how it is, but you see this, it's got a gap here, and there is no gap here. A little bit gap there. But I did get that back to normal. I mean, it's looking pretty good. So, jury's still out on this bumper. Yeah, let's take the brackets off. More in a minute. Yeah, I'd definitely say the bumper's tweaked right in here. That's lying flat on the bench, and that's up. And I noticed I used all the correct hardware. Yeah. So, and this is the one that came off of here. I don't see any place where it's bent, but I got 2 new ones here, so hang on. It looks to be pretty straight. Compared to the new one. Anything, this might be off a little. But yeah. A new bumper is $99 and it'll probably cost $99 in shipping to get it here, so I don't know. I think we're going to go online and take a look and see. I might just mount the new brackets onto that and mount the bumper and see if it's any noticeable difference when it's on the car. But it's definitely something's happened in this area here to hold it. I mean, it could have been twisted a little, so it's hard to say. But yeah, interesting though. Yep. And there's only 4 bolts to weld in. And you want to keep the adjustment here. We'll weld this closed, this closed, this closed, this closed, and that closed. So let me think about this. Let me see what shipping's going to cost to get one here. I mean, it's pretty bad when you sit there and pay more for shipping than you did for the product that you're having shipped to you. So, but let's see. Rick's Camaros had them for $99, and Rick's Camaros is coming from across the country, so shipping's going to be more. And Classic Industries, which is right next door in good old California, has them for 140 something. Now, I don't want it chrome, but it's already chromed. And yeah, it's tweaked right in there. You can definitely see it. I mean, standing back and looking at it right like this, you can see it's like it's rolled up. So I don't know. I mean, it's down here. It's down here. But it starts coming up here. And it still stays flat there pretty much. Yeah, something tweaked it in here. So, but yeah, let's do some investigation work and see what we're going to do. Tomorrow we'll put bolts on it and everything else and test fit it onto the car and see. And then we'll make our mind up on what we want to do. But yeah, interesting though. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later, guys. Morning, tubers. It's Thursday. What's the date? June 11th, 12th? I can't remember. That's the time. That's the temp. It's beautiful day in the neighborhood. Gonna be warm out, but we're playing with the front bumper. I went to Rick's Classic Camaros, or Rick's Camaros, and the bumper there was $99 and almost $50 to ship it. Hold on, I gotta throw something away. I went to Classic Industries, and theirs was $149, but I got 20% off, and theirs was a little cheaper in shipping because it's coming from Southern Cal, and I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount this and see how bad it looks. I got this all straightened out, as you see. It almost looks identical to this side, and these little dimples stay, and went on the internet and trying to figure out how this all bolts together, because when I got the car, the bumpers were in the back seat, so they weren't even on the car. So here are all the bumper bolts. And the question the other question is if those go down like that and I weld them in, are we still going to be able to and do away with the heads like I did on the rear bumper? Are we going to be able to still get this in? So I think we'll take the brackets off the bumper, the new ones, and we'll put them on the car, and we'll go that route and see how it all bolts together. So that's all I got for now. When I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Alright. Doesn't look bad. It can go back a couple more inches, I think. But the main thing is these side brackets, according to the my assembly manual, are on backwards. It should be flipped around 180 degrees. So we'll have to take those off. But that's all that we're mocking it up for, is to sit there and see things. And remember, I didn't take the bumper off the car. Matter of fact, those brackets for the outside of the bumper weren't even on the car. So I don't think he was planning on running a front bumper. So, but until we get it all in properly, we can just sit there and just keep mocking it up. God, there's a dent right there. Yeah, right there. Okay. And we'll see. So we're going to take it back off. We're going to duck underneath the hood. We're going to take off these brackets and flip them around and see what we have to do. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Real quick, this is the bracket that needs to come off. It's held in by 2 1/2-inch body bolts on the inside. So hopefully we don't have to really disassemble too much, but they got to come off. And this is probably the right side, and that's probably the left side, and got to go back on upside down, or flip the other way around, because they definitely ain't going to come close to bolting up to this bumper, and this bumper ain't that twisted. So onward and upward. Take those off and flip them around. We'll see ya later. Alright, tubers, I got the front fender bracket off on the left side. See, it's not there. One on the right side still is, so. But I did have it in upside down, and I just mocked it up here just to sit there and make sure that it goes back in, because I still want to test fit this bumper and take a look at it before I go ahead and would make a decision on whether to order a new one or not. So this looks like this is the deal and how it goes. I did at least have it on the right side, and we'll move on from there. More in a minute later. Afternoon, tubers. It's Saturday. It's 2, and that's temp in the garage. And I got that one in, and I got that one switched around too. So saw some work I need to do on the airbox, so before we put that back together, I'm going to take care of that work. And also, the nut plate on the front bolt on that one broke loose. It's in there, but it's not tightened all the way. But it's going to take 2 people to tighten it up. So I got Pat coming up tomorrow after lunch, and he's going to give me a hand on doing that. And other than that, that's about it. So you guys have a good one. When I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Afternoon, tubers. Pat just left. He was up giving me a hand with the first bolt that went in here. I was having a hard time getting it in, and I needed another pair of hands. So he came up, and inside of an hour, we had that in and done. Also, I found a spot on the cold air kit that I didn't have it fully seated, so I took it all apart, cleaned it, and reinstalled it, and now it's good to go. And so that's done. Next up will be getting a 3/8, I think it's 3/8 by 24, I'm not sure, or 18 nut, and run it all the way up here to lock this stud in, because then I'm going to try to mount the front bumper and see how that's going to work if I weld these studs in, if this is going to work. And then we'll pull it back out, take the nuts off, and then mount the bumper, not permanently, but mount the bumper back on to sit there and see where it's tweaked, because I think it's tweaked right in here, but we'll find out. But I did get it all straightened out, and we're ready to go. Next up will be, before I really want to get cranking on the interior, I want to do the windows and get this thing at least sealed up. So the next step will be back on the window kit, and that is about $800-900, and I just spent that on the computer. So it's going to be a while before I put that together. So I'm going to take care of a few little things. The front bumper, get this welded up and done. The rear spoiler's another one. The cowl panel's another one. So we just get those taken care of while we're tucking some money away and saving for the electric window kit. So that's all I got. I'm going to load this up. I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course leaving comments. And you have a good Sunday night, evening, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. I got to get Nancy's car smogged tomorrow. Well, it's not Nancy's car, it's our car, because we're down to one car. Okay. Got to get the car smogged tomorrow. Plates are up at the end of the month, and so get that done, and then go get plates and get that taken care of. So, you guys have a good one. Later.